We're live. Countdown. Hello, I am Willie Bragg. Welcome to another edition of the Willie Bragg Show, where I love to discuss a lot of politics. And this is going to be a two-parter today because, there's been a lot of ragging and beating up on Kyle Kulinski lately, and I want to go and comment on it because I'm going to tell you, he's probably the primary influence of my starting this channel here, the Willie Bragg Show. But I do have some criticisms myself of Kyle Kulinski and how it relates to the BreadTube community. But for starters, I'm going to go and put up somebody that does not belong to BreadTube that's considered BreadTube. And that would be Christy Winters. She's not BreadTube. She's basically she thinks she's more badass, progressive than anybody else. And to me, she's right wing. I don't care how SJW she is. She's right wing. I'm going to mention one other person that sort of fits the BreadTube feel that does not really belong to BreadTube, and that would be Rebecca Watson. Rebecca Watson does not belong. She doesn't belong to BreadTube, in my view. She's another self-righteous type that thinks she's badass left, and she's not. Just because somebody may express themselves in a very woke or edgy sort of way does not mean anything. Christy Winter and Rebecca Watson, to me, are just generic Democrats, and that's where I stand on. So I'm just because I'm going to be mentioning some BreadTube personalities today in relation to Kyle Kulinski. So let me start off by saying the obvious, and that when it comes to the online left. And I'm going to say it like it is, whether people like it or not, we are all the children of Bernie Sanders from 2016. And even though BreadTube, the online left, what you want to call it, it's been around much longer than Bernie Sanders running for president, really the online left as we know it today in all factions and everything, pretty much started with the Bernie Sanders campaign in 2016. And, we're all been kind of affected by it for better or for worse. So there is that. So if you do not know who Sabby Sabs is, she's an online leftist commentator. I believe she's from Boston, Massachusetts. I discovered her program last year, and I subscribe to it. She's one of the main people that I listen to. So I just I have one little mild criticism of Sabby Sabs from several months ago, and when she was kind of talking about Kyle Kulinski and David Dole. And she said that she disagrees with them 98% of the time. And that's a bit of a stretch. I mean, I myself agree with Sabby Sabs 95% of the time. So, and I think I agree with Kyle Kulinski and David Dole for the most part. Well, Kyle Kulinski 95% of the time, probably 89, 90% with David Dole. I mean, the problem with the online left is that there's a lot of people out there that want to say, well, I'm just a little bit edgier. And I'm not criticizing Sabby Sabs. I'm talking about just across the board a mindset that we have to go and draw the line in the sand, and I'm leftier than now. So that's what I wanted to say. 98% of the time. You say you disagree with Ben Shapiro 98% of the time. That would be entire online left. I mean, so there's a difference between saying I disagree with Kyle Kulinski and David Dole 98% of the time. Ben Shapiro or what's her name? Candace Owens would disagree with Kyle Kulinski 98% of the time. That's a little more accurate. So anyway, Kyle Kulinski is one of the larger online leftist individuals, and he is right now to stand 17,000 subscribers away from getting 1 million subscribers. Actually, he was earlier this week at 974,000. He did tip down to 973,000. Anyway, what I'm going to do is I'm going to play Sabby Sabs commentary from yesterday, and I'm going to share a few words. So let me go ahead and do that. One thing I noticed, she uses the same software that I use. So anyway, so let me get started with here. And by the way, I'm going to go, and if I can remember it, I tried to put down everybody's link when I discussed them on the show, because we online leftists need to stick together. So let's start off with Sabby Sabs, and I'll share a few words afterwards.
Okay, let me go ahead to my third story, and this is about Secular Talk drops. Now, I want to go ahead and share my screen with you. Boop, boop, be-doop. But before I do that, I have to explain to you how this works first, because if you're not a content creator and you don't have this tool, you're probably like, what the hell is she talking about? So I do want to explain this to you first. So last night, right after I finished my stream, somebody sent me a message and said, FYI, thought you'd be interested to see this. They're like, Secular Talk has dropped in subs. I'm like, okay, whatever, no biggie. But then I said, okay, what are actually the numbers? It's probably just a couple here and there. Now, those of us who are content creators on YouTube, we actually have the option to have an add-on tool called TubeBuddy. There's also other ones you can use as well for like keyword search and things like that. All of them cost, they're not free, of course. So because I have that tool, there are certain things that I can see that if you don't have it, you can't see. So I'm going to show you what I can see. And this is not to pick on anyone, but this is to prove a point. So let me share my screen. Sharing the screen, sharing the screen. I don't know why I felt the need to sing that. And yeah, here we are. Okay.
Why do we sign every Stearns & Foster mattress? Because each one is so artfully constructed, combining time-honored craftsmanship.
Okay. So this is Secular Talk. This is the channel. All right, guys, I want to show you something here that you probably would not see on your own unless you had this tool. I'm going to zoom into the part that I want to show you in just a second, because this is being kind of odd. So for those of us that have that tool that I was telling you about, we can actually see some analytics on other channels as well. Let me explain what I mean. I have that tool. I can see analytics on my channel without that tool. But with that tool, I can see more. It goes a little further in depth. It helps with SEO. That's search engine optimization. For those of you who are not familiar with that, that helps with keywords, key phrases, etc. I can also see some analytics on other channels, and it will compare it to my channel. So I'm going to take you in for a little deep dive tonight, take you behind the scenes to show you what is really going on. Now, the person who sent me this said that Secular Talk dropped in subs. I was curious to see how many, since they said this was like a big deal or whatever. Let me show you what I can actually see. So let me go back into the background here. I'm going to zoom into the part that I do want to show you. Well, it's letting me show it. Okay. So with the tool that I have an option. I can come over here and I can select views last 30 days, subscribers last 30 days, and videos last 30 days. What I was curious to see was subscribers last 30 days. Let me show you what is happening here. If you look at the graph, the blue line is me. That's my channel. I'm always blue. The red line right here, that is the other channel. Any other channel I go to, they will be red, I will be blue. So let me show you what is happening here. According to this, something happened over here. February 25th. I want to make sure it's showing you guys what I see here. Yeah, okay. All of a sudden, there is a sharp drop. Do you guys see this? I don't know exactly what happened on February 25th. I don't know what was said on February 25th, but there is a sharp drop in reference to subscribers. And you can see it just drops very quickly down here. So I'm going to zoom in a little bit more to show you the other thing I wanted to show you. Oh boy, what happened now? That is way too much. Get me out of here. I zoomed in too far, I'm sorry. Okay. So if you look over here to the right where you see my little cursor here where it says you, it says 1.2K5. So that's how many subscribers I gained in the past 30 days, which is actually pretty good for me. I don't know what happened, but that's actually really good for me. Again, the channel that I'm referencing is in the red. So if you look below where it says them, guys, this says negative 400. Negative 400, you guys. Now, this is not me trying to toot my own horn. I'm just here to prove a point. That means that from February 25th, going all the way over, highlight here, there's no subscribers gained. You can see that there, March 23rd, 0 subscribers gained. And they are in the negative in reference to subscribers. Let me come out for a second and explain to you what that means. That's a problem. I have to tell you, with all the time that I've spent on YouTube, I don't think I've seen that before. What that means is that not only are people not subscribing, that also means a lot of people fell off. You never want to be in the negative. Never. I've never been in negative. So now if you look at the subscriber count, I'm going to go up here. The subscriber count now says 973K. If I'm not mistaken, I could have sworn that was 974. So obviously, way more subscribers than what I have. But the fact that Secular Talk now has negative 400 subscribers, something is happening. So I don't know, again, I don't know what happened on February 25th. It doesn't make sense. There was 200 subscribers gained and then a sharp drop. We all have periods where we go up and we go down. That happens, but usually not like that. So a lot of people fell off quickly and others are not subscribing. Let's see why. I'm going to show you a couple of things and then I'm going to tell you my take on it, but I just want to show you. Let's look at the lineup. Let's go to videos. Let's see what we got. Check this out. This is a part of the problem. I'm going to take myself to the back. GOP, Trump, Trump, Trump. There's a Biden one. There's the Twitter video. Hercules actor, that's also GOP. For those who don't know, the guy who played Hercules is also Republican. He's pretty outspoken. Kevin Sorbo. Alcohol's a different one. Something about firing squad. Fox. There's the Biden. There's Bloomberg. Hannity. Hunter Biden. Dave Rubin. There's Bill Maher. There's Chuck Todd. CBS host. All right. Long story short. He's doing the mistake that some other people were doing. They're still talking about Trump. Trump, 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 Trump. GOP, 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 GOP. And I have to say this. I'm sorry. But Trump is not president anymore. I don't know why people are still talking about Trump. And it's not just him. It's Humanist Report. It's Rational National. It's TYT. If I went to their channel, I'd see the same stuff. Trump, 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 Trump. We're done with Trump, bro. People are done with Trump. It's old. It's old news. But also, and I'm going to come out of here, some of this could have something to do with the talking points. Some of the talking points around Russia, Ukraine have not been too favorable from what I've seen, based on what I've seen. And that's just on Twitter. Buddying up in combo with Bosch, not really going to help you out. So there's talking points as well. It's the fact that this channel has not really evolved. It's the same stuff. And I think people are at this point, and I mentioned this last week when I talked about Jimmy Dore now has 1 million subs. We talked about that on here. I think that there is a segment of the left that is wanting to do something different, that is tired of hearing about Trump, that is tired of hearing about people say blue no matter who, that is sick and tired of Joe Biden, that is tired of the squad, that doesn't really like Bernie Sanders that much anymore either. And people want to do something different. People want to do direct action. People want to do more mutual aid. People were tired of hearing the same thing. Let's just keep putting progressive through the Democratic Party. And you guys saw what happened during that live stream, the Seize the House live stream. It did not go well in the comment section. People are tired of doing the same thing over and over since 2016. It is time for something new. I think that is it.
Well, there's more to the video, and so let me just say that I can, you can check it out on her channel. I do highly recommend you subscribe to Sabby Sabs. But let's talk about what she was talking about earlier. Now I mentioned that too, that he's close to 1 million subscribers. She mentioned that too, and she mentioned the sharp drop. And here's the thing: there is an algorithm problem, a tremendous algorithm problem. YouTube signals out the independent content makers. Alex Jones is easy. I mean, he's so toxic, or someone like Richard Spencer or someone like that on the far right. That they'll say all these shitty things and they'll get shut down, or like Marjorie Taylor Greene with Twitter, like about a month and a half ago or something like that. But the point I'm trying to make is it's easy to go after the hard right. I don't think that Alex Jones should be shut down, or Marjorie Taylor Greene should have her Twitter taken away from it. No matter how much I disagree and dislike them, I don't think that should be. I have a problem with that, because I have told people, I've warned people, when you go in favor shutting down channels you disagree with, don't think it's going to come back to haunt you. And it's coming back to haunt the left. Unfortunately, it's actually haunting the left that were they're pro-free speech to begin with. I mean, I've seen various online leftist commentators get fucked with. I mean, subtly. I mean, like the Amazing Atheist had 1 million subscribers, over 1 million subscribers about 5-6 months ago. He's now down to 970,000. So, I don't think that if you're close to 1 million, all of a sudden people are going to stop being interested in what you have to say. I think that there is an external explanation out there. There's, as far as going after content makers, they're out there since 2017, when it started with the demonetizing, what they call the adpocalypse. And and some of the other BreadTubers out there, David Pakman had, he got demonetized apparently the same day Kyle Kulinski got demonetized, and so some of these content makers have to go on things like what do you call it, Patreon and some of these other ways of making money. So, but I will agree with her that the content is stagnant. It is stagnant. There is his sarcasm seems to be gone. The sarcasm, he had kind of an edge to him that seemed to have disappeared. And I think it's a combination of many factors. I think it's a combination of the Bernie Sanders campaign. In 2016, we were all gung ho. We were all basically Bernie bros back then. And in 2016, Hillary Clinton machine stolen the nomination away from Bernie Sanders. About this time, 2 years ago, we saw the Democratic Party establishment steal it from Bernie again. And so we're burned out and we don't know what to do. We had it within our grasp to finally take over an institutional organization like the Democratic Party and maybe turn it into something that would be akin to the Social Democrats in Sweden, or the British Labour Party, or the French Socialists, for example, or even go with the modest New Democratic Party of Canada. But the Democratic Party decided to go and make an example and attack the left. Fiorella Isabel has said that one does not join the Democratic Party to change the Democratic Party. The Democratic Party ends up changing you. And I can even see that with Bernie Sanders, even though he is still technically an independent. And so I've been kind of upset with Bernie lately. But getting back to what I was saying here, there's that as an explanation. Also, what did not help was about almost a year ago, how time flies, the shitstorm that took place on the online left, the major figures on the online left, the Young Turks, Jimmy Dore, Aaron Maté, Glenn Greenwald, Kyle Kulinski. I mean, it was just arguing and calling each other's names, and friendships that came to an end. And because there's a lot of egos involved. I mean, and it's mostly the Young Turks and mostly Jimmy Dore having an axe to grind with each other and everything. So, and Kyle Kulinski got pulled into the middle of this. And Kyle Kulinski was like at 981,000 or something like that last summer. And what happened? He lost close to 10,000 subscribers almost instantly, because everybody got mad at him. The TYT left got mad at him. The Jimmy Dore left got mad at him. And as a result, I mean, there was a lot of overlapping of the audience. Kyle Kulinski lost about several thousand of his fans were Jimmy Dore fans, several thousand were TYT fans, and they both did not like Kyle Kulinski, and he got caught in the middle of this shit. And I think that he's been having a tough time since then, and that's part of it right there. But anyway, but there's also new energy with the new media. I mean, the new media, as Gab and Zach referred to it from the Vanguard, and I'll be talking about the Vanguard in my next video. There's new energy. I mean, right now, a lot of the old school Kyle Kulinski fans, they're either listening to Jimmy Dore, Jackson Hinkle, the Gray Zone exclusively, or they're going with Sam Cedar or TYT or Vosh exclusively. So that's pretty much what's happening, and that's why Kyle sort of remained kind of stagnant in that regard. But, as I said, I mean, and I mentioned the Amazing Atheist earlier. Now, the Amazing Atheist, he's down to 970,000 subscribers. I saw Tim Black's channel going from, when I discovered his channel about 2 years ago, I saw his channel go from like 151,000 down to the current 144,000. And that's another content maker. He's got a great channel, in my opinion. I like Tim Black, and he's one of my go-tos when I come from home from work in the morning. I'll be like, what the hell's Tim Black's got to say? And his channel has been in decline. Now, Kim Iverson, she's kind of strange and all of that, but I can listen to Kim Iverson, but her channel went up to like over 200,000 right away, and then her channel froze in subscription, and she complained recently that YouTube is doing that. But recently, also there was a glitch that actually made the algorithms work the way they should, and all of a sudden she gained 50,000 new subscribers, and then YouTube basically went and used the algorithms against her again. So here's the thing, and it's true. Getting back to the stagnant content, yeah, one thing I will say about Kyle is that he should stop with he doesn't go around saying Democrats good, Republicans bad, but what he tends to do, he's a little more supportive of Joe Biden than I like him to be. He's I mean, going after Marjorie Taylor Greene is low-hanging fruit. I mean, I do it myself. I mean, she's got endless material, going after Trump, I mean, like Sabby Sabs said, Donald Trump is no longer president. He's not even going to be president in 2024. All the people on the left who are worried about, oh no, Donald Trump is going to run for president again, and he's going to come back in power. He's not going to come back in power. I really believe that that's not going to happen, and maybe I'll eat my words later on, but I really do not believe that that's going to happen. So what else? Well, the squad. Now, Kyle gets a lot of shit for defending the squad too much, and I don't see that. He's been highly critical of Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez quite a bit. I think he wants to criticize her more than he's letting on, because I mean he's been invested with the Justice Democrat. He and Shank founded the Justice Democrats with the very best of intentions of doing a hostile takeover of the Democratic Party. I'm still hoping that hostile takeover of the Democratic Party and pushing the DLC corporate Democrats, pushing them out of the Democratic Party, making them a fighting Labor Party. I would love to see that happen. I hope that strategy works, but I see failure in that strategy. And I mean, I see no other alternative from my perspective. The Democratic Party just can't be relied on anymore. Even our allies in the Democratic Party gets bend the knee. I mean, they couldn't even do fucking force the vote. Now, Kyle Kulinski wanted the squad to do force the vote. And honestly, force the vote would have actually, wouldn't have gotten us Medicare for all. Could have, but more than likely not. But we would be probably in better standing as far as, it would be closer to it some way, somehow, because we would have brought the fight to Congress. And I believe that bringing the fight to Congress would have brought the fight out into the streets. And in this fucking pandemic, the fact that we can't get health care and join the family of nations around the world that actually do common sense things like provide universal health care for people, it just infuriates me to no end. It really infuriates me. So, but as far as subs on the channel, what have you, I mean, I don't think it's because Kyle Kulinski's program sucks. I mean, it can be stagnant at times, and even I will say that. And I'm like one of the people that like I'm one of the bigger fans of Kyle Kulinski and one of the bigger apologists for Kyle Kulinski. But at the same time, his program has kind of run stagnant. His talking points have been kind of repetitive. But at the same time, when he says that he gets no subscribers, or maybe 1 or 2 subscribers a month, he has said that in the past. Even though my channel is ultra tiny compared to his, I can tell you that that's about the damn truth. because I only get like maybe 1 or 2 subscribers a week. And then every time I get a subscribe, 2 or maybe even 3 subscribers, all of a sudden 1 gets plucked away. And I think that, and I do think that, people subscribe and unsubscribe from channels. That's to be expected from everyone. But I also believe that YouTube is doing this to independent content makers because, again, they don't want this national conversation. I mean, they're Silicon Valley do not want this conversation. For all the talk about how woke Silicon Valley is by the people from Fox News and right-wing Republican partisan hacks that want to sit there and focus on talking points that are ridiculous. Being for LGBTQ rights or being against racism does not make you woke. It makes you a good person, but it doesn't make you woke. It's ridiculous how things are, because as I said, my channel, as I said, has run stagnant as far as subscription. And I mean, I don't think I have the greatest channel in the world, but I've seen channels from across the political spectrum that are not that much better than my channel that has a healthy subscription. So I don't know. I do think that YouTube is kind of fucking with the content makers, in my opinion. It's just my opinion. And of course, I'm correct. So so there's that. Chat line. Let's go with the chat lines. And it's a fairly busy chat line. Les Bones, good morning to you. Yes, well, it's a happy Saturday. It'll be a happier Sunday and Monday for me because I'll be off and get plenty of rest. Most of it are children of the burning. Oh, BLX 11387 says. Oh well, let's do this here. Says most of the children. Most of it are the children of burning movement. Yes, have acknowledged there's plenty of that have been around longer and are more experienced. True enough. True that. I don't see the distinction. I don't see what the distinction is between the online and I guess the real life left. It's all the left. It is not, with the one idea central to it all. The want or need for revolutionary change. Very true. But the thing is that the online left, as I see it, they're the new media, because the old media, your CNN, your MSNBC, and your 3 major news networks don't really do much. Even NPR, is, you talk about stagnant. That's stagnant, NPR these days. So, okay, let's see what we got here. I think Trump will definitely win if we keep running these Biden-Obama Dems. Well, anything can happen. Anything can happen. And that's the thing right there. It's hard to say. I think that the Republicans will take over the House and the Senate in November, but usually that's going to benefit the party in power in the White House, because it gives them a sense of purpose to try to, they fight for the agenda maybe slightly better than they would have otherwise. It's hard to say. I can't keep rooting for the Dems, because if we get a decent candidate, DNC will find a way to steal it. Absolutely. It's called conflict of interest. His interests are propping up his baby in the Justice Dems and keep access to the squad and other Democrats because he's safe enough. The other, everybody likes those cocktail parties and all of that. So there is also that. Let's see what we got here. Forced vote will at the very least move the Overton window. It will expose these politicians that that bill on campaign promises. Well, I'm going to tell you like it is. Vosh hates this kind of thing, but I'm very much for it because, I'm angry. And he criticized Kyle Kulinski once for saying, well, he basically said that Kyle Kulinski wants to go and take a wrecking ball and smash the Democratic Party establishment. Very base. I wish that that's what he wanted. It's what I wish for, because we get screwed over by the Democrats. And the fact that we get screwed over and fucked over, I mean, on one hand, I really wish that the Democratic Party could do more because, it's time consuming to be an independent, a serious independent. But when both parties are garbage, that's all there is, when it comes to that sort of thing. Let's see here. Hold on a second here. Being an actual leftist, holding them accountable, asking hard questions, and changing tactics when what you're currently doing doesn't work. What they say insanity is basically repeating the same shit over and over to get a different result. So, I see Lloyd Tackwell says, we want to know the dirt with him and Crystal. Oh, well, I mean, Crystal Ball and Kyle Kulinski are an item. Let's see. After the past 2 elections, how can I have faith that it won't happen again to a true leftist candidate? DNC rigging. Oh, it will happen again if somebody else comes along. I just don't know who's going to be the new Bernie. Let's see. The woke elements and identity politics in general has been co-opted by bad actors. So that's something the right-wingers are right about, in my opinion, even though they don't say it in those terms. Well, identity politics tends to be weaponized against the left within the Democratic Party. And sometimes the Democratic Party will take certain aspects of identity politics and try to use it against the Republicans, and it will end up blowing in their face. Calling somebody a racist because they don't support Obamacare, that's not going to win them anything. What will win for the Democrats is to say, hey, motherfucker, I'm for Medicare for all. Let's see. What happened to TYT? Well, the Young Turks. In my opinion, sometimes I feel like they're MSNBC light. I watch it occasionally still, and I'm still grateful that they changed things around. They gave conservative talk radio a kick in the ass that they needed, in my opinion, because prior to TYT, the political commentary was coming out of talk radio, conservative talk radio, and they gotten kind of a decline. Let's see through that. Let's see, TYT furthering their careers. A lot of careers got started with TYT. Has anyone checked out Richard Medhurst? Man, that kid is even better than Michael Brooks. Yes, I listen to Richard Medhurst occasionally. Again, very, very good person to listen to. Let's see here. Radical leftist agenda. Got to rewind. Well, good morning, Radical Leftist Agenda. It's always great hearing from you. Let's see. FR, I'm going to assume that means for real. Let's see. Unless we organize toward third party that works for us. And we really do need a third party. We need a third party. We need a 33rd party as far as I'm concerned. So anyway, if you like what you heard, press like and comment. Feel free to let's see. I'm sorry, I'm a little tired. If you like what you heard, press like and comment. Feel free to express yourselves. We'll have a conversation. I hope you will share the content on this channel. As a First Amendment absolutist, it's my duty to inform you to create your own platform and utilize it because we're the muckrakers of our time. And subscribe, help make this channel grow. Let's defy YouTube in that regard. And until next time, remember, we have a class war to wage, and we're all Julian Assange. Music in a second.